ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the Smoky Room, enemy of the New World Order. For those of you that might be brand new, never seen me before, wondering who the hell is this bull-headed guy, my name's Joe, and I do a show called The Smoky Room, or Smoky Room, enemy of the New World Order. So, needless to say, the show is about the New World Order and how to get it. So, um, going through YouTube today, you know, you see a lot of commentary and trying to remember which issue was it. I don't know, the border or something like that, and people are still asking the question, why don't they do something about it? If you've been red pilled and if you know what it means for those of you that may not know, you've been enlightened. You are one of the individuals that can think logically. You've taken the blinders off and you've said, "Oh yeah, Fox is just like CNN. Oh, yeah. The Republicans and the Democrats play for the same team. And they don't like you." That's what being red pilled is. Red pilled, you're able to view world events uh, with logic and reasoning and being able to connect dots. So, for instance, why aren't they doing anything about our southern border? Because they do not want to. How can you have a new world order with borders? It won't work. That's part of the game plan, folks. And they've got the perfect individual in the White House to accomplish those ends. You know what I mean? I mean, they could have done this with a chimpanzee, but I think then they would, the Americans are like, they're starting to take to the streets and break things. But I mean, we're almost there anyway with this nitwit. So it's part of the game plan, ladies and gentlemen. When you see things that don't make sense, it's usually because of the New World Order and the heartbreak of psoriasis, for that matter. So, now we are dealing with flying objects. Who would have thunk it? I mean, look, things are so damn bad for this administration. Um, could this be some sort of made up event just to take our attention off of that? Because the Bidens are being investigated and it do not look very good for them. Just saying. You know what I mean? Um, so, but then again, you've got admirals and people like that saying they've seen objects. I don't know. Yeah, sure, there could be life in other places. You know, somebody put all these goofy pictures on the internet. This, I think it was right around the holidays, and wow, where was it? Was it Saturn? Where Venus maybe? And there were all these pictures of, it was the rover and it's taking pictures, and I mean they looked really authentic. And it was pictures of like old ancient buildings and statues, and there was life. And I even brought my wife in here. I said, "Don't just look at. Do you think this is for real?" And then I did a little bit of research and felt very foolish. afterwards. So, but I do believe life can exist if the climate is right, you know. I mean, yeah, when God created Earth, I mean, but God created everything. So but why are we shooting at them? I could understand the Chinese balloon, okay? Only with Joe Biden, right? I mean, like, you know, Joe Biden and balloons, that sort of goes together, with his ice cream cone looking up. He goes, look, airplane! Yeah, so anyway, either that or who ordered the veal cutlet? So that's one of Lionel Nation. I'm a member. No, not actually not a member of Lionel Nation. Or am I? I mean, I give him money every month, so I don't know. Anybody else out there watch Lionel Nation? The guy's great. And we're right around the same age. And I'm telling you, if we were in high school together, he'd probably be in my band. But this guy is funny as hell. I mean, he doesn't mean to be, but it's just his demeanor, his accent, and he's Italian, Sicilian actually, I think. If I'm wrong, Lionel, give me a buzz and let me know. So, hey, anybody notice I got an Eagles flag over there? Do you see it right there? How about those Eagles, huh? So, the objects in the sky, I am looking at it this way that of course the Chinese balloon should have been shot way before. I mean, it actually entered our coast. Once it entered our airspace, it should have been, or them should have been blown up. But they weren't. And you gotta ask yourself, well, why? I mean, everything this guy does not make sense. Now, I am going to stop right here. I got to get my pizza out of the oven, all right? I'll be right with you. Let me see. And the pizza was very, very good. That was leftover pizza I made for the Super Bowl. Yeah, I actually turned it off for a while. I couldn't take it. I couldn't take it, and so I'm kind of like a recovering Eagles fan. I mean, this like the way they lost that Super, it would have been a disaster if this was the '80s, well, '70s, '80s, '90s. Oh my God, I'd be sick for like a month. But you know, after 9/11, everything changed. My life just completely changed. Never been quite the same since. How about you? Didn't know I could sing, did you? Of course, the chicks dig it. So, yeah, 9/11 changed everything. And that doesn't make sense, does it? Does 9/11 make sense? I saw a guy today trying to convince us that these two towers, okay, pretty much falling at free fall in their own footprint, yeah, it shouldn't be questioned. Why would you question that? Oh, and then Building 7. Yeah, well, you see, the carpets caught on fire and all of that office furniture caught on. That's what it did. It caused it to fall. People believe that. I would say could go out on a limb. I hate going out on limbs. 80% of the public couldn't tell you what Building 7 was, or is, and how it's relevant to 9/11, and how it's relevant to life in America, actually, because through 9/11, we were given the Patriot Act, which turned us into numbers pretty much. Papers, please. And, we kind of got used to that. And now it's papers, please, roll up your sleeve. If you don't, we're going to take you out back and beat the crap out of you. I don't know. But this is the way things are, folks. I attribute everything, everything, our lifestyle, the way culture is changing. One of the biggest things, look at the founding of the United Nations and who was behind that, and the role that people like Cecil Rhodes, the Morgans, um, and many, many, many others, they all, I don't know why it is, but when people become that wealthy, it's going to be a beautiful world with my help. And if they just do what we say, there won't be any war. And we'll get filthy rich off of each other. So anyway, I don't know, how could they get filthy rich if there wasn't any war? Well, they're telling you there won't be any war, but they thrive off of manufacturing weapons and ammunition, ordnance, all that good stuff, and uniforms. Yeah. It's a huge industry. Speaking of which, and it's not here. I do this every single time, and it makes me look stupid. Anyway, okay, never mind. Just a book I was going to show you that was written by a two-time Medal of Honor winner, General, United States Marine Corps. He wrote this book, War is a Racket. Not a very big book. I think it's obviously less than 100 pages, but it's jam-packed with a lot of interesting information. And that's all tied in to the New World Order. Think back, folks. Think back on what Eisenhower told us in that famous speech toward the end of his last term. Beware the military industrial complex. Those are his words. Beware the military industrial complex. And then there's the famous Kennedy speech that we are being controlled by certain people. He was alluding to the secret government. Whatever you want to call my, I don't know. And that rubbed them the wrong way because they killed him. It wasn't Lee Harvey Oswald, ladies and gentlemen. Does anybody know, just in case you're one of them, oh, come on, man, my teacher in 6th grade told me it was Lee Harvey Oswald. She's not a liar. I don't know where that came from. But Lee Harvey Oswald was in the Marine Corps. Now, his records are easy to get hold of. And Lee Harvey Oswald qualified at the bottom. He was less than average on the rifle range. Lee Harvey Oswald was in the Marine Corps, qualified at the bottom of his basic training class in whatever it was they were using. I think it was the M1 back then. Let me see, 63, right? Was it? No, the M14. Geez, excuse me, M1. It was the M14. I'm pretty damn certain of it. And that may have just been coming out back then. So, I don't know. Anyway, so they're going to convince you that this guy that wasn't a good shot made these miraculous shots in that time period, meaning shot after shot after shot, that time period, with a bolt action World War II era Italian made rifle, which has a horrible reputation. But that's really not the original weapon. There are photographs and evidence of police, FBI holding up the first weapon they found. But that, oh no, don't show that. Oh, it was a sniper's type of rifle. Now you're gonna let me see. You're gonna kill the president of the United States. I gotta get these shots off. And then there's that tree in the way. How the hell, So what should I? I know. I know where I could get my hands on an Italian-made World War II era bolt-action rifle. That's the baby that's gonna do the trick. Got ya. Hey, look, we believe the towers came down in their own footprint, right? We believe that Building 7 came down in less than 7 seconds, actually, because of burning office furniture and carpeting. Nothing hit it. Nothing touched that building. It just whoop. But the owner of that building was videotaped saying that, yeah, I'm going to give them the order to pull it, you know, pull it, meaning to demolish it. You see, that building held a lot of secret material, believe it or not. I believe of the CIA, if I'm not mistaken. You know, yeah. So, and then there's all the other things that go on with 9/11. I don't know why I'm talking about 9/11. But yeah, I guess we're talking about things that don't make sense, and that's to me the biggies. The other one I always thought didn't make sense was when you remember Mr. Obama when he came out. I'm a tough guy, man. Yeah. When they assassinated Osama bin Laden, after everything that happened, over 3,000 Americans dying that day, uh, the changes that were implemented to society because of that, the trauma that was caused because of that. Anybody got any idea how many families were with children? Mommy and daddy never came home, or mommy never came home, daddy never came home. So that's how I view it, and I just get very, very upset about that whole thing because in my mind this was never resolved. You know, and anybody that believes that it was the terrorists that did that are insane. Think about where the first plane hit the building. Think about that spot. At that time, once the plane hit that building, that spot becomes the weakest part of that structure, does it not? Now, the law of gravity tells me since that's the weakest part of that structure, that's where that weight wants to go. But it didn't do that. It all went straight down. Plane hit at the top, but it came straight down. It had the top, right? But it came. What made the bottom so weak that it couldn't stand? Or I mean, really, think that one through and find the site of Engineers for Truth, something like that. And yeah, I find that fascinating stuff. And what are you gonna do? I mean, if you trust anything, look, I am not anti-government. Okay, I served my country. All right, in the 70s, 74 to 76. I love America, but this and previous administrations, their form of how they interpret our Constitution sucks. It sucks. Capitol Hill, I don't know, man. It's like a nest of roaches over there. I mean, really. Does anybody here trust anything that comes out of Capitol Hill? I sure as hell don't, you know. And especially now. So when you look at things, once again, you know why? Look at that. God's sakes. They're knocking the statues over. They don't do a damn thing. Look at that. The city's on fire. We're. Come on. It's a peaceful demonstration. They're having a block party. That's all. Anybody see that with the flames in the background? And this nitwit's actually trying to convince you this is a peaceful protest. Fire in the background, police cars burning, people running around in masks and everything. It's a peaceful protest. In order to get us ready, in order to get the United States ready to be part of the New World Order, the way it is now, and what's scary, I think, excuse this, all of a sudden I got this cough. Scusate. I think they have to have the boomers going. So I don't know how many years I got left, but you know, fortunately, it's still. I think it's still in the double digits. So, and the reason for that is that they they know we hold to the Second Amendment. Where's my kid? We hold with the Second Amendment. And we'll probably go down fighting. I mean, that's something I spoke about also in the Smoky Room is that mental state of mind you're going to need to have. I mean, you don't have to. You could just sit back and do nothing. I am extremely convinced, first and foremost, that we're in the end times. Now, I could just say, hey, it's the end times. But as long as I'm here, and as long as the world outside affects the way I live my life, I'm going to try to fight for what's right. I'll go down fighting. Now, I've heard pro and con. I've heard two different Christian approaches to that argument, and both of them made a lot of sense. So, I'm not convinced that taking up arms to do the right thing would be frowned upon by God. And I made peace with the Lord, obviously. I mean, no, I don't, not asking to get shot. It's going to hurt. Yeah. Then again, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Like my father told me, he got shot in the leg in World War II. He didn't even know it. And, he found out later on, plus being in the Italian army. I mean, they had nothing. Nothing. Yeah. Don't let me go there. But, so that way you could be a good soldier. You know. Yeah, this is probably sounding completely insane to those of you who aren't familiar with, what it would take if we decide to take up arms. It will not be fun. It will be the ugliest thing you ever seen in your life. But will it be necessary? Chances are, yeah, it will be, and it's going to come to that. I just can't. I mean, look, I have no faith that Trump's ever going to be in the White House again. I just don't feel it. I'm not feeling it. And I didn't feel it when the Eagles lost either. And I knew, I mean, I'm kind of intuitive to this, you know. So we'll see. I mean, but I have no faith in that. And if that's the case, then you're going to even agree, oh boy, was he right. These are the last days. So if that's the case, folks, get right with God. You know, get right with God. It's not hard. It's really not difficult at all. You know, you just call out for Jesus. That's all you gotta do. You might be thinking, look, this guy comes off, I don't know, a little gruff or whatever, and everybody tells me that. I don't really see it, but got mental issues. So, anyway, when I was working as a chef, um, oh man, this one place I worked at, boss came running into the kitchen. Joe, what? There's people out there that are afraid to come in here because of you. I don't want them in my kitchen. So yeah, I was kind of happy about that. But it was people that I should have kind of kissed her ass. I didn't kiss anybody. Yeah, do I look like an ass kisser to you? I don't kiss anybody's ass. That's just how I am. Sorry about that. Sorry, that sounds, but I don't. It may not be the Christian thing to do. I'm sorry, but it's not me. It's not me. And it would be fake, and they would know it's fake. So it's better to just be straight up. Say, hey, look, I can't work for you anymore. And if you need to know, these are the reasons why. If you don't want me to tell you, see ya. And that way, nothing but. All right, now I'm just venting. So, folks, thanks for watching and listening. And you can subscribe and like. There we go. The big thumbs up thing, Thumbs up. Yeah.